guys, what's up? It's Naomi the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Whippin' Chat. If you're new to diamond painting, WHIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat is, I'm just going to kind of sit back. Well, I'm going to be diamond painting, but I'm going to sit here and tell you about my week. So, with that said, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are all having a beautiful, wonderful day. The pen I will be using is from Chroma Diamond Art Pen. Chroma Diamond Arts. It's over on Etsy. I will have it linked down below. I do have to change out my putty, which I hope is up here. I don't see it though. So, so maybe I won't be changing out my putty. If you happen to see my putty, please tell it to come back. I miss it. I kind of need it. Yes, I will be using my Munimade tray with my small stopper. She posts onto her Etsy store on Wednesdays. You have to be quick. I will also be using the Heart of the Ocean cover minder from Shine Shop Designs. I'm working on this like cute little 3 little chipmunk thingy-mabobber. I forget where I got this, but I will have it linked down in the comment. Gee, Louise. Good golly, Miss Molly. I will have it linked down in the description box down below. I'm also working with my Harbor Freight containers. You can get these at Harbor Freight stores if you have them in your area. Okay. So, I think I got that out of the way. Little small plug. I am a TSA affiliate. So, if you go onto the TSA website and you use the code Naomi10, you will save yourself 10% off of any diamond painting over $40. I do also have Buy Me a Coffee. I have it as Buy Me a Boba because I love Boba Tea. The Tara tea is my favorite. Thanks to Miss Bev B for giving me that suggestion. But okay, now that we got all that out of the way, turn on my light pad so I can actually see. Let me see if I can find this symbol. All right, where is it? What number is it? That would probably help me find it. 13. Find it faster. Yeah, I was this didn't come with like any labels, and I was lazy and didn't feel like running it through my Xyron sticker, so I just took labels, cut it, and drew my own symbols on there. Right. All right. So, okay, let's get to work in here before I start chit-chatting, or I will not get anything done. So, let's see, where did we leave off? So the last time I recorded was last week on a Wednesday. You guys see it on Thursday. So last Thursday, let me see, I went to work, you know, same old, same old. What else did I do? Oh, and then, so on my lunch break from work, I wanted to try to make bunny butts. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I did make the bunny butts. But so on Thursday on my lunch break, I was like trying to run around to find these like little pots that I needed, because I was like, I don't want to go to Hobby Lobby. If I go to Hobby Lobby, I'm gonna spend too much money, and nope, I got bills coming up, I got stuff I gotta do. Like, you can't be spending money, right? It's like the same with Etsy. I find myself going on Etsy and I'm like, no, you don't need it that bad. But I'm like, but it's so pretty. And I'm like, no, take it out of your cart. So I've been doing okay, you know, with that. It's kind of like a withdrawal. Like, there was this one pen that I was like, ooh, that's pretty. And I don't have a pen by that, you know, Turner. But I'm like, you don't need any more pens, Naomi. You really don't. Like, I have more pens than I really care to admit. Maybe one day I'll sit down and do like a pen video, show you how I store my pens, because it makes it very, very easy. I feel like I'm shaking. It's cold out today, and you would think, you know, the amount of energy drinks I drink, that it wouldn't bother me. But yeah, so I was like, I decided that I wanted to have some coffee, because I'm like, it's a little cold here. Now, cold for Florida and cold to wherever you live might be two different things, but it was like in the 60s, like the low 60s, high 50s. So to me, that's cold. I actually have my heat going right now, and yeah. So I feel like I'm a little shaky because I've already had, you know, 1 cup of coffee, and it was actually really good. I put some cinnamon toast crunch creamer. Yes, it's very good. But now I'm like, whoo, I'm jittery. Woohoo! I'm like, this ain't good. I'm like, what the good golly Miss Molly is happening to me? So yeah. But anyway, so I was like running around trying to find these little pots to make the bunny butts. And I found it was like a 2-pack, and it was like all they had, because it's not really, I guess, like the season for planting flowers yet. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. So they're not really out, but I did find like a 2-pack of them, and I was like, they look too big, but I was like, you know, they're not too bad. So I bought them. I came home, and I mean, I could make them into bunny butts, but when I say like they are big, like they're bigger than what I expected, I'll have to go out and find like bigger pom-poms than what I have. But, you know, I could probably turn it into something. But I really, like I said, I didn't really have any luck finding the size that I wanted, because I went to that store and they were like, well, they might have it over at this location. So after work, I drove over there. They didn't have it at that store. So I was like, you know what, I'm done. I've looked at 3 stores today. I'll just, you know, either look on Amazon or, you know, go to Hobby Lobby, which I was trying to avoid. Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to avoid it. I love Hobby Lobby. My bank account, not so much. Not so much. And then, let's see, on Thursday night, I was in Jenny's live, and I was making, well, I had already made them. I was like tying ribbon onto the Boo Boo bunnies, and I ran out of ribbon. So then I started making, like cutting out gnome beards. And I apologize to anybody that was in that live, because I listened to it back and I was like, oh, you could hear me cutting that. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Like, oh, I hope I didn't, you know, hurt anybody's ears as I was cutting the gnome beard fabric. I didn't realize that my microphone, or no, what did I have on? I had my earbuds in, and I guess it's got a very, very good microphone, because it picked it up really, 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 like you could hear it, and I was like, ooh, ooh. So yeah, that was fun. And then what else? So before I went on Jenny's live, because she comes on, it's like 10 o'clock Thursday night my time. I think I said that. I think I got that right. Yeah. And I started watching on Netflix. It's a show called Behind Her Eyes. It sucked me in. Like, at first, the first episode, I was like, I'm not too sure about this. It's about this, wife, and she has a husband. I guess, is he like a lawyer? I forget what he did for a living. You know, I should probably pay more attention to that. And she, like, befriends this lady that works for her husband, and the husband doesn't want the wife hanging out with his, worker, and it's good. It's good. It sucked me in. I hope they come out with another season of it. Yeah. So that was Thursday. And then on Friday, obviously, I got up and I went to work. I got done, like, the W-2s, the W-3s, the 1099s. And then there's this, like, lien for this builder that we're trying to lien the property because he still owes us money for the work we did. And yeah, like, you only have a certain amount of days from the last time you did work, and it's fun, right? So, but we've never had to take it to the point where we've actually had to lien the property. Like, usually you just send a notice to owner, and it makes, the builder pay, or the homeowner pays and goes after the builder. So I've never had to actually do an actual, like, lien. It is not as easy as you would think. Like, the lady that I usually talk to and deal with, like, I don't know where she is, but I'm about ready just to bypass this lady. Like, my boss got a taste of it today, and I'll explain, as we move on, as to why he had to deal with it. But yeah, so the lady that I usually deal with is, like, very super friendly. Like, if I happened, like, when I first had to start doing the NTOs, we basically do it just for one builder. And it's to the point now I know what I'm doing with that. But she's, like, very, very helpful. She's like, oh, you missed this, because I think I'll have it done. And I would send it over to her, and she was like, oh, you need to do this, and, oh, nope, that's not, I think I mixed the names up where I put the company's name, where the builder's name was supposed to be, and there was something else, and she was really nice about it, and, like, emailed me back, and she was like, you just need to change, ABC, send it back, we're good to go. Awesome. So now with the lien letter, which is basically, it's making it so, he can't sell that property, he can't remortgage that property without us being paid first. Like, it sucks that we have to do this, but it is what it is. I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen, because this is only the second job we have done for this guy. And the first job, I had to pretend that I was interested in a property, called from a different phone number, because he knew my phone number and my one boss's phone number. Like, it was a mess. But, we finally got paid after, like, a year. And it's the same old with this guy. It just sucks. But anyway, I'm totally getting off topic there. So the lady that I have been dealing with, like, so what did I do? What was the first? I think I got it typed up the first time, right? And I had to get my boss to get it notarized. So as I'm waiting for him to get it notarized, the guy decides, you know, he's going to do a credit card payment, which then made the amount owed on the lien letter incorrect. So I go and I have to change the amount. Okay. So then I have to wait for my boss to get it notarized, send it to me, then I send it over to these ladies for them to, you know, finish it out. So then we do that, he gets it signed, I send it over, and this is where the lady comes back and she was like, oh, you missed, you know, the one owner, because there's like, it's a partner, and this guy has like his name and then his business name, and I missed the one. So like I had 2 of the owners down, but missed the other one, you know, and she was like, oh, you know, you missed this, blah, 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 change it. Okay, so I do that. So I call up my boss and I'm like, hey, I'm going to have to get you to get this notarized again. I, you know, missed the one owner's name. Because usually it's just one owner. There's not 3 freaking owners. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, okay. So he gets that done. And then that was on Friday? Friday, yeah. So we got it done on Monday. He gets it notarized. He sends it back over to me. But hold on. I'm skipping ahead. But yeah. So I'm like, and this was Friday. I was ready to pull my hair out with this lien because I'm just like, grr. Like I said, it's not as easy as you would think. I mean, I don't know unless you do it all the freaking time, but. Yeah, no, we try to have builders that pay us. But yeah, and then I talked to Ruby on Friday, like, and she told me, she was like, you don't sound yourself. She's like, you know, in your whip-in chat, which would have been last week's whip-in chat, she's like, you just sound, you know, like really down. She's like, and then on Jenny's live, she was like, you just don't sound like yourself. She's like, you're usually loud and upbeat and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, ah, crap. Like, because I have a lot of stuff going on that I don't post on social media, that it's not everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody doesn't need to be knowing my business. And we'll just say that it's a lot, you know. And then I have my, you know, stuff that I tell you guys about. And I think this like whole teeth thing, like it just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like made like my self-esteem, or just kind of like, I just felt like, ugh, I'm like, why? Like, why? But it is what it is. You know, I'm better now. But yeah, like Ruby pointed that out to me and I was like, ah, crap. Like, all right. I need to get myself, you know, out of this funk, because, I mean, I try to be a positive person. I really do. I always try to, you know, be upbeat and all that, you know. But there's some days or sometimes, like, I'll fall into a funk. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, at least with me, like, I can't let myself stay in that funk, because it could get really dangerous. Like, if I let myself just fester with my feelings and let things try to get the best of me. So I just kind of, you know, I don't know. I put my big girl panties on Saturday, and I was like, all right, let's get this done. I mean, and like I said, it's a lot with some personal stuff, family issues going on, and work, and the dog, and my teeth, and just, you know, like I said, the whole kit caboodle. I was hoping to have the Etsy store open by now, and that don't look like it's gonna happen until probably that, like, I'm hoping the like first full week of February. Like, I'm not talking about like next Monday's the 30th or the 31st, and then we have, you know, February 1st, because I think the 4th is on a Friday. So not that week, but like the first full week of February. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to get this Etsy shop up and running. Like, I thank you guys for all your patience with this. You know, just life throws you curveballs sometimes, and you just gotta, you know, learn how to swing at them, or just, you know, duck and cover your hiney and wait for it to pass. So yeah. But Saturday I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Hobby Lobby. I guarantee you Hobby Lobby probably has these like flower pots that I'm looking for in the size that I want. So I'm like, okay, well, here's the problem with every time I go to Hobby Lobby. So, I mean, obviously, I'd say 9.9 out of 10 times I walk into Hobby Lobby and I walk out with 10 times more than what I needed. I'm gonna use it, you know, but I don't necessarily need it all at that point. So, but then there is a Boba Tea place, like, right, so if the Hobby Lobby's here, and it's like the parking lot, the Hobby Lobby is here, and it takes up that whole side. But then on this side, there is a Boba Tea place, and then next to the Boba Tea place is a Little Caesars. So what do? Every time I go to Hobby Lobby, so I go to Hobby Lobby, I don't go over to the Boba Tea place because I'm like, let me go, you know, take all my bags and put them in my car, so I don't look like, you know, walking into this Boba Tea place, you know, with half of Hobby Lobby and all these bags on my arms. So I do that, and then I go over to the Boba Tea place and I get my Boba Tea. And then I go over to Little Caesars. I usually order, I don't know, like a deep dish pizza. Wait for that. Sometimes they have like the hot and readies, but sometimes I want like the meat one, or, you know, they don't have the toppings that I want on the hot and ready. So, you know, then I go out to my car. I wait about 10 minutes. I get my Little Caesars. I get in my car and drive my slap happy behind, you know, the 1.4 miles back to my home. Like, that's dangerous. I live 1.4 miles away from Hobby Lobby going this way, right? Now, to go to the Harbor Freight, I think it's like, I'm not sure, but it's probably about like 1.5 miles that way. Maybe even closer. It might even just be like 1 mile away from where I live is the Harbor Freight. Like, it's dangerous. Like, I don't know what I was thinking when I picked this place to move. Like, I mean, I know what I was thinking. I was like, woohoo, Harbor Freight's right down the road. Hobby Lobby's right down the road. My wallet was like, Naomi, let's not move here. I told my wallet to shut up and mind its own damn business. Nobody wants his negativity. And I zip him back up, and he can mumble, you know, at the bottom of my purse. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So yeah. And I went to Little Caesars. Oh my gosh. So obviously, as I told you, when I go to Hobby Lobby, I go and I got my Boba Tea, and I get the taro tea. If you have not tried it, oh my gosh, you have to try it. It is amazing. It is not something I probably would have tried myself, but Bev B recommended it, so I was like, you know what, like, she told me, oh, it was probably like a month or two ago, you know, you gotta try this flavor. And I tried it, and yeah, it's like my favorite one now. It is my go-to. I love it. So as I'm waiting for, so, you know, I go and I walk into Little Caesars, and it's like packed. And I'm like, ooh. Now, usually when I go on Saturdays, it's more like the early afternoon, maybe like, I'd say anywhere between like 12 and 2 o'clock when I'll like head over to Hobby Lobby. Well, I mean, I was being a little lazy and I didn't go until, I think it was like after 4. And so obviously I went into Hobby Lobby first, do what I gotta do. And I go into Little Caesars and like, they're hot and ready. There was none ready, you know what I mean? Because it was packed, and I mean like packed in there. Either people waiting for their order to get finished that they're there to pick up, or they, you know, doing what I did and walked in. And I mean, I was probably there like from the time I placed my order to the time that like I left, maybe 20 minutes, like not quite a half an hour. And I mean, it's okay, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, that is the first time I've ever experienced it like that. And I mean, me being mean and nasty is not going to get me my food any faster. Like, if anything, they're going to mess with my food. Like, I'm good. Like, no, sweetheart. Like, take your time. I'm not in a rush. Do what you got to do. Please don't mess with my food. But there was like these two, and it was two different people. Like, I felt so bad for the guy behind the register, because like these people, I guess like they were like DoorDash, like, and I get, you know what I mean, that like you have to, you know, like your tip also, you know, depends on, you know, you getting it to the people and all that. But when I say like these people were freaking nasty, like they were just like straight up mean and nasty, like, and I was just like, damn. Like, the one lady was like, she was there for like 5 minutes, and I guess, and there was another person from like Grubhub or Uber Eats, I'm not sure, you know what I mean, but like they even said, they were like, yeah, like you'll get the notification that it's ready, and it's like right when the person placed the order. So I mean, at least like the one person had like common sense to know that like it's not their fault that these people, you know, don't give the place making the food time to freaking make it. So yeah, this one lady, she was just like, oh my gosh. It's like she wound up like walking out, like, and I'm like, I'm thinking like, what about these people that you're supposed to be picking up their order? Like, I don't know how that works. Like, if you can accept you're gonna do it and then like change your mind and be like, nah, I'm good. I'm not 100% sure. Like, the one guy, like, he was also like a real a-hole. Like, he was like, is it ready? Is it ready? Is it ready? Like, I was like, good God, dude, like, have a little patience. Like, kindness will get you a lot further than being an a-hole. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I have my moments and I have my days where I don't know my manners. Like, I forget my manners sometimes, or I'm just having a bad day. Now, I do try not to take it out on people, you know what I mean? Because it's not their fault. Like, they just work there. But once in a blue moon, I get a little mean and nasty, and I usually, like, when that does happen, I usually wind up like catching myself as I do it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm sorry, it's not your fault, like, I'm an a-hole, please don't, you know, don't mind me, like, I'm sorry I'm taking this out on you, it's not your fault, you know, because like I said, I mean, I can tell you, like, if you're a butthole to me, I'm not going out of my way to do anything for you. Like, if anything, I'll put your stuff on the back burner until, you know, I absolutely cannot leave it sitting there anymore. Usually if somebody's nice, I'll go out of my way. You know what I mean? I'm like, let let me help them, for being so, kind and considerate. And like I said, I need to learn that as I'm driving. I don't know if I can ever find like a decent like phone holder that will work for my car, because I have phone holders that are great, but like my vents in my car, they go up and down, not horizontal. So the one phone holder that I had for my old car with the vents went like that, I mean, it was great, it stayed on there. This car, because it goes up and down, like it doesn't, and it winds up falling over, and I'm like, yeah, we probably won't do a drive-in chat, because one, half the words coming out of my mouth would probably have to be bleeped out, and you guys would probably wind up, falling on the floor, because no phone holder works with my vents. And believe me, like I've tried. I think I bought about 4 different ones since I've had this car, and I've had this car 19, 20, 21, probably about like 2.5 years now, almost 3 years. So yeah, like, and I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, yep, nope, you just can't have a phone holder, in this car, because it won't stay. But yeah, that would be, you should hear me and my choice words when that happens, because it's not pretty. I will tell you that right now. It is not pretty at all. Let's see. So then I came home and I had some, Little Caesars, and then I started making bunny butts. And I made these like gnome bags that I only made, how many did I make? I think I only made 3 of them that I'm gonna put into the shop once I finally, what color am I working on B? So yeah, that was on Saturday. On Sunday, look at me, I'm over here picking up non-existent drills, trying to put them down on the canvas. Why don't you guys tell me when I do this dumb stuff? You just let me sit here and do my dumb stuff, probably laughing at me like, ha ha ha, look at her. It's all good. It's all good. I'll remember that. I'm joking, guys. So Sunday, I woke up and I have had my Diamond Art Club, both. I did 2 different orders, and I really needed to record those unboxings. And the one order, it was like I had for over a week, and when it came in, I was like, I'm gonna record it this weekend, and that weekend came and went, and I never recorded it. And I was like, oh, I'll do it the following weekend. That weekend came and went, and I never recorded it. Then I got my second order from my Black Friday order, and I was like, okay, I really need to record it. I'm like, I'll do it on Saturday. Saturday came and I didn't do it. So like on Sunday, I was like, look, like, you need to get your butt in gear. Stop. Just stop. Like, just, you know what you need to do. Go do it. So I tried to record. Well, I mean, I did. I wound up recording 6 unboxing videos on Sunday, but it was like I was waiting for, there was this like little girl, and she was outside playing, and like she was like screaming, like, you know how like some little girls have that like high pitched shrill, like, and she wasn't being hurt or anything like that. It wasn't like a scream like somebody was hurting her or anything like that. Like, you could tell she was playing, but it was like this ear-piercing freaking scream. Now, keep in mind, I'm inside. The townhouse condo I live in, it is cement. Like, cement. Tell me why I could hear this little girl, like, screaming. So it was like every time I'm like, okay, like I think I'm good. And I go to hit record, she would scream. I'd be like, okay, let me stop. And I try to wait. And finally, like it was like, if you don't, like you're just going to have to record it and, you know, pray that the sound doesn't pick it up too bad. So yeah, the next, you know, I think they're scheduled. The first one goes out, I think this Sunday, if not like February. But you'll be able to tell because there's some where the girl, like, she's screaming. And I think I even said, I'm like, I think in one of them I was like, I'm going to go out there and freaking smack some sense, like, into her parents. Like, I mean, like I said, I don't mind kids playing, you know what I mean? I'm not expecting, like, no, you have to be quiet. Kids are to be, you know, seen, not heard. I mean, let's be realistic. But there's like, come on, like, you know, I mean, like I said, if I'm, and this person, they don't live in my development. They don't live in my development, okay? They live off to the side over here. So it's like, if I can hear you screaming in my cement, like, walls and roof, like, because it's hurricane proof. Like, I can only imagine what it had to be like at that person's house. Like, go out there and be like, hey, like, knock it off with the screaming, like something, like have some consideration for your neighbors. Like, I feel like people don't have any consideration for their neighbors anymore. I mean, and like I said, I'm not expecting to not, you know, hear, you know, kids screaming or playing from time to time, but like when it's going on like 3-4 hours, like, just no, like I'm starting to think, I'm like, did you like lock that kid out there, you know, and like fall asleep on your couch? Like, what? Like, do something. Make, I don't know, but I just, yeah, I think it was either the last video I recorded, I said that because I was over it. Like, I was so tired of trying to wait out this, and it just, yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. So that was on Sunday. Yeah, so I recorded the 6 videos. I edited them, and then I uploaded all 6 videos, and I was quite proud of myself. I still have a couple more videos I have to do, but I'm like, I'll do it this weekend. Like, and I have to do it this weekend because I go back to the dentist on Friday, February the 4th. And yeah. So you guys will definitely have a whipping chat next week. The week after that, I should be okay. I mean, I would think I would be okay to do a whipping chat, but there might not be one. It depends on how my mouth feels, how the healing process is going. I mean, I think I should be okay. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'll be fine. You know, I'll have rainbows and butterflies, you know, shooting out my butt. Like, no, I mean, I'll probably be, like, in a little discomfort, but nothing like I would be, you know, on Friday. So, and then I also kitted up this diamond painting as I was, you know, waiting for the videos to upload. And then Monday, you know, Monday fun day, woohoo! Not the only thing that gets me up out of bed on Monday mornings is the fact that if I want my paycheck, I need to get my butt up because I'm the one who cuts them. I'm the one that takes it to the bank. So, yeah. If I don't go into work on Monday, like, nobody gets paid. And People want their money, and I get it, because I'm like, yeah, nope, I want my paycheck too. Like, I got bills to pay. But so I get in my car, and I like made it out of my development, and I'm probably not even like a half a mile down the road, and my low tire pressure light comes on. And now I call that the butt light, because it looks like, you know, you got like your butt cheeks, and the exclamation point is, you know, like the crack. Don't judge me. I call it the butt light. My old mechanic in Pennsylvania, whenever that would happen, I would call him up and I'd be like, hey Rob, my butt light's on. And he knew what I was talking about. Like, if I were to say that to probably like a mechanic here in Florida, I'd be like, yes, the butt light came on in my car. They'd be like, the what? Be like, the butt light. Oh, I'm sorry. The low tire pressure light came on in my car. And at first, like, I wasn't really too worried about it, because on Monday, when I got in my car, it was like in the low 40s. And where I live in Florida, like my area of Florida, that is like, that's cold. Like, that is cold. It does get down that low once in a blue moon, but not a lot. So when it first came on, I was like, oh, you know, freaking Mary Poppins. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, you know what? It might be just because, you know, the temperature dropped so low. Because usually, like, in the mornings, it'll be in the 60s. And then as the day goes on, it warms up. And, like, it'll get up into the 80s. And then as it gets into nighttime, it'll, like, drop down into, like, the 60s and the 50s. It's very rarely it hits the 40s where I'm at. So I'm like, well, maybe it's just because, you know, like, it's cold, you know, like, as you start, because I think you lose, like, some air tire pressure. I don't know. I just know when that damn butt light comes on, you know, it's not good. So I was like, I'm not gonna pull over, because I go past the Wawa on my way into work. I'm like, I'm not gonna go in there and, you know, fill my air up with tire, or the tire up with air, because I've done that. And this is how I know that sometimes when it gets, like, the temperature drops, like, you'll get like a low tire, but then, like, as the temperature warms up throughout the day, the air will expand back up and it's fine, because I've overfilled a tire doing that. And then as I went driving down the road, guess what? My tire popped. So yeah, I don't even mess with that. Like, I just go to like Pep Boys or a tire place, and I'm like, hey, my low tire pressure light's on, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, you know, and it didn't sound flat. Like, I was listening for that, you know, like when you have a flat tire, you usually hear that like don't, flump, 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 flump sound, you know, where it's like whack, whack, whack. I wasn't hearing that. So that's why I really thought, I'm like, you know, it's probably just the cold weather. You know, when I go to the bank, you know, it'll be warmer out. It'll probably be fine. So I do what I have to do on Mondays, you know, and I get in my car and the low tire pressure light is still on, and I'm like, and at this point, like, it's warmed up, and I'm like, you know, maybe I just need to drive it down the road and, you know, it'll go off. And it didn't go off. So before I went to the bank, but like, the thing is, like, when I'm walking around my car, it doesn't look like there's anything flat. So I'm like, I ran to Pep Boys, and the guy was like nice enough, and here it's just, it was low in air because I need to get new tires. But I'm like, I think the teeth are coming first, and then, you know, then we'll worry about the tires. So yeah, so the guy was nice enough, like, and he filled it up with air, and I was like, you know, how much do I owe you? He's like, it's free. And he was like telling me, and it's sad because he works for Pep Boys and he shouldn't be doing this, but he was like, because I was telling him, I was like, look, I know I need tires. I'm like, I have a couple other things I have to do first before I can get these tires. And he was like, oh, he's like, well, if you go here and go there, he's like, and sometimes, you know, this place has a good deal. He's like, look around. So he gave me a couple names of some tire places, which I appreciate it. So that was pretty cool. And then then I went to the bank, and the lobby's still not open, but the drive-through is. And I went to like my normal bank with the, and I love the drive-through there when it's not busy, because the lady that works in the drive-through, like, I swear she's the only one with common sense at that place, and I love her. So there wasn't a long line, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go there. And like I said, she's awesome. I love her. I actually gave her a gnome for Christmas. Yeah, so like every time she sees me, she was like, have you opened the Etsy store yet? And I'm like, no, not yet. I'm like, I'm working on it. And so, yeah. Then, let's see, what else did I do? So I went to the bank. Oh, I came home, and I was like, I really need to put clothes away. I'm like, I have, 2 freaking baskets full of clothes that, like, I need to put them away. I'm like, stop being freaking lazy and put this stuff away. Where did that drill go? I don't know where it went. It's at its forever home now. Like, if it's on the wrong color, it landed there perfectly, and I can't tell, and I'm not moving all these drills around to find it. So, but I came home, and I put my clothes away, and I finally, like, put my TV, like, on top of, it's not a dresser, but it's like this storage thing that I have. I finally set it up, because ever since I moved in here, it's been sitting on the floor. So I got that done, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I'm just gonna, lay down here real quick. I'm just gonna close my eyes for 5 minutes. I was out for the count. Like, I just got into the ring with Mike Tyson, and he knocked me out. Like, done. And yeah, and then I woke up, and I was like, crap. So I quick, got up, and thank goodness I had already fed Roscoe before I started all this, or he probably would not have eaten. But I got up and quickly took him out, and then changed into my PJs and went back to bed. And then yesterday, which was Tuesday, I had to redo the lien letter. That freaking lien letter. I had to redo it because the date was not correct. So I got this signed, my boss got it notarized and sent it back to me, and I sent it over to this lady, and she tells me that, the date is wrong on it. And I'm like, I don't understand, like, how it went from September 14th to September 17th to September 14th. I'm like, I didn't touch the dates, but okay. Like, so she notices that, so I quickly call up my boss, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need you to, get this re-notarized, blah, 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 blah. Like, I sent it over, and she noticed, the dates, and he was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm like, I wish I was. I mean, and he gets it. Like, this is my first time doing it. And he was like, why didn't she say something, like, the last time? Because it's literally the same exact freaking thing. But, and I even checked, like, on the very first one, it said September 14th, and it should have said the 17th for when we filed this NTO, which is a notice to owner. But no, she waits until you get it notarized and send it over to her. She's like, oh, yeah, no, that won't work. I'm like, okay. So I go in there, I edit it, I print it out, I scan it back over to my boss, and I'm like, hey, I need you to get this notarized. It had the wrong date. So he's like, okay. Now, the last 2 times he's gotten it notarized, one of the builders, one of the ladies in the office there is a notary, and she was, you know, nice enough to notarize it for him for free. He was like, I can't go back there again and, you know, have her notarize it, you know, not 3 times in a row. And I'm like, no, I get it. So he had to find like a UPS store and get it notarized. So he does that. He sends it over. Well, I had to leave early yesterday because I had my, you know, dentist appointment. So, and it was like yesterday was, I don't know, like the crazies were out. I don't know. It was like, it rained, and it basically rained all freaking day. And nope. So I go after, so I had to run back to the bank on Tuesday and deposit a check. I go and I run to the 7-Eleven because I didn't eat anything because I don't know what it is, but it's like if I know I have to go to the dentist, like it'd be one thing if I was at home and I could like brush my teeth, floss, all that, like, I would probably eat, but like knowing I'm going to the dentist from work, I'm not doing that, you know, so I didn't eat anything. So I run to the 7-Eleven before I go, and I'm like, all right, let me get something, you know, so when I'm done, I can quick eat. Well, I sat in their waiting room for like 40 minutes past my appointment time, and it's, you know, it is what it is. I can't make them go any faster. So, but yeah, by the time I got done, there was like a half an hour left of my work day, and by the time I would have driven from the dentist office back to my work, it would have been time for me to go. I only live right around the corner from the dentist office, so I just, you know, came home and did my thing. But before then, I stopped at the 7-Eleven, and there was a guy when I pulled up. He was like in the parking lot, and he was on his phone talking to somebody, and he was saying like, I don't understand. And I'm just like, it's none of your business, Naomi. Just keep walking. So that's what I did, you know. And then as I go into the 7-Eleven, I hear the girls behind the counter talking about like, I guess this guy had like come in there before and got kicked out for trying to use like counterfeit money. So yeah, so I mean, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the guy and it just looked like the guy. I mean, because the guy in the parking lot, like he seemed really upset, like, but then again, you know, some people are really good actors. So yeah, but by the time I left, by the time I got my fruit punch rock stars, and I think I got a chicken Caesar salad, and checked out and went back to my car. The cops were there and they were talking to him, and I was like, damn, oh, okay. So yeah, that was a little interesting. Let's see, I went to the dentist, so, and all that, and then I go back Friday, February the 4th, to have the teeth pulled, and I wanted it on a Friday. Like, I could have gotten it done sooner, but I wanted it on a Friday, so that way, like, I'm only going to take, like, that Friday off, and then I have the weekend, because I've had teeth pulled before, and the day you get it done, once the Novocaine wears off, like, you're in pain. There's no denying it. You're in pain. And the day after, like, you're in pain. And I'm talking like in pain where Tylenol and all that, like, I mean, it'll help a little bit, but like you feel it. And then by like the 3rd day, you know, you're good. You can take some Tylenol and you're absolutely fine. So I scheduled it for a Friday, so that way I can just go home, die in my bed, be a miserable little biatch. Saturday, I can be miserable and I don't have to worry about, you know, taking off of work. And then, you know, come Sunday, I should be feeling a little bit better. By Monday, I should be fine. And that's why I'm saying, definitely next week, you guys will have a whip and chat. The following week, like I said, I think I should be up to it, but I mean, I really won't know until the time comes, but we should be fine. But, you know, I'll try to, if I don't have a whipping chat that week, I'll try to post something onto Instagram, because I can't do it here on YouTube because I don't have enough subscribers yet for the community tab. So, but I will definitely let you guys know some way. And then yesterday, like, there was just like, when I say like it rained, it rained. And then I mean like some bad, nasty storms came through, which leads me to today. So I got up, I go to work, and I mean, I did not want to go. I was like, no. Like, do I really have to? And I'm like, yes, Naomi, you really have to. Get your butt up and go to work. You don't have a sugar daddy, so who's going to pay your bills? And I'm like, fine. You know, and I got up and I drove to work. I get to work. I go into my office. And I'm like, my computer's not on. I go to try to turn the light on. I'm like, the light won't work. And I don't know how I missed it. Like, I guess I was half asleep. But I walked right past the big generator that was out in the driveway, you know, going to the camper. So I'm guessing that the storm knocked the power out at my aunt and uncle's house. And they're all asleep. Like, these people, I swear, they stay up all freaking night and then they sleep all day. So I don't really see them too much when I'm there. So I'm like, okay. So I call my other boss and I'm like, hey, like, this is what's going on. Like, I can't do anything. There is no electric. And it's a little chilly willy here where I'm not sitting in this office to see if the electric comes back on, you know, and freezing my butt off. I'm not doing it. So he was like, all right. He's like, well, I guess, you know, you have the day off, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right. I'm like, well, hopefully, you know, like, I hear something. If for some reason, you know, I hear that the electric came back on, I will, you know, come back and do stuff. And I told him, I'm like, because, I mean, I CC him on everything. So there was, like, a couple things that I was like, I'm like, you know, this, because he had sent me back that lien release, you know, the notarized lien letter to send to these people. I was like, I can't get to it. I'm like, I can't get to my emails. And he was like, okay. I was like, you know, I'm like, if you could send that to them. And then I'm like, and then also, I had put a request into the supply yard. I needed a final release for them from one of our builders. And I got that yesterday afternoon when I was out of the office, and she CCs him in that too. I was like, if you could send that over, you know, to this guy so we can, you know, pick that check up from him, you know, that would be great, blah, 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 blah. So the plan is, so I was like, you know, I'm like, I can go home and, you know, clear off, like, in my dining room. I have, like, a whole bunch of gnome stuff, because originally that's where my office was going to be, and I cleared it all out, and then my uncle changed his mind, so I said, screw it, and yeah. And I have, like, gnome stuff in there, and I was like, you know, I'm like, I can clear that out, and I can run back and, you know, get the computer, because it's just, my computer, it's, like, built into the monitor, and then I have another monitor, because I have 2 monitors when I work. I'm like, you know, I can grab the monitors, I can grab the printer, you know, and I can set it up at my house, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no, he's like, you know, don't worry about it. He's like, no, you know, if it's not fixed by tomorrow, he's like, then, you know, pack the computer up and take it to your house. So I'm like, all right, I can do that. So I I left work and I decided, I'm like, let me go food shopping. I need to go food shopping. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning at this point. I'm like, there ain't a whole lot of people out here. There really wasn't. So I did my food shopping. I came home, put my groceries away. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start on this living room. The dining room, you know, in case I need to move my office. And, yep, that didn't happen. So I started to diamond paint, and now we're here doing the whipping chat. And, yeah, that is roughly about my week. So, I'm going to hop on out of here and take my little tail downstairs and actually clear that, at least clear, you know, where I can put the monitors and the computer set up in case if I do need to bring my office over here tomorrow. So with that said, let me get my lazy tail out of here and I will see you guys next week. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!